Hi, Assalamualaikum and have a good day everyone. So, my name is Anissa Soleha binti Syamsul Bahar and my student ID is 2023815172 and I'm from class 13 and my lecturer name is Madam Adiba binti Muhammad Noor. I'm a student in Applied Science Faculty Uitm Tapah, Perak. Welcome to my presentation. So today I'm going to present my topic is empirical formula and molecular formula. Let's get started. For empirical formula, I will tell you about definition of empirical formula. Number 2, steps for determining on empirical formula. Number 3, example question of empirical formula. For molecular formula, I will tell you too about definition of molecular formula. Number 2, step for determining on molecular formula. Number 3, example question of molecular formula. Definition of empirical formula. Empirical formula is a formula that gives the simplest whole number ratio of atoms in a compound. For your information, different compounds may have the same empirical formula. For example, ethene C2H2 and benzene C6H6 have the same empirical formula, which is CH. Now, steps for determining on empirical formula. The first one is obtain the mass of each element present in grams. Basically, their question give the mass of the compound. Number 2, determine the numbers of mole of each type of atom present. Meaning here, you must calculate the mole. How to get the mole? Mole must divide with molar mass. Okay, number 3, divide the number of moles of each element by the smallest number of moles that you found in the previous steps. So, here, you already get the mole, right? So, all the mole, you must search for the smallest mole. So, the mole must divide with the smallest mole that you get. Number 4, convert number to whole number by multiplying each of them by the smallest number that will end up with only whole numbers as a result. So here, you just need to follow the steps. If you follow the step, you will get the answer. So now, let's do one example question of empirical formula with me. Here the example question of empirical formula. Given nicotine is 74.1% carbon, 8.6 hydrogen and 17.3 nitrogen by mass. What is the empirical formula of the nicotine? Okay, firstly, we must write the mass that given, which carbon is 74.1%, hydrogen 8.6%, and nitrogen 17.3%. Next step is we must search for mole. So how to search mole? Okay, so mass must divide with molar mass. So, how to find the molar mass? So, we must look at periodic table. So, 34.1 divided by molar mass of carbon is 12. So, we got the answer 6.175. So, for hydrogen, 0.6 divided by hydrogen molar mass is 1, so the answer 0.6. So 17.3 divided by molar mass of nitrogen is 14. So the answer 1.237. Okay. Next step, we must search for ratio. So how to get ratio? So all of this mole, we must look at the smallest one. So this is the smallest one. Okay, so all of this answer must divide by the smallest mole. So 6.5 divided by smallest one. 37. Got? Okay, we got 5 and 0.6. 1.237. We got 7. So this we got 1. So the answer of empirical formula of this nicotine is C5 hydrogen H7 and N is 1. So just write this. So this is the answer for empirical formula. Number 4, definition of molecular formula. Molecular formula is formula that shows how many atoms or ions of each element combine to make that compound. Now, steps for determining on molecular formula. Number 1, simply calculate the mass of the empirical formula. So here, you must calculate the empirical formula first. Number 2, divide the molar mass of the compound by the mass of the empirical formula to find the ratio, which is N. Lastly, multiplying all the atoms by this ratio to find the molecular formula. Now, let's do one example question of molecular formula with me. Okay, here the example question of molecular formula. Determine the molecular formula of C2H3O and molar mass is 172 G per mole. Okay, if the question gives the molecular formula, so you don't need to calculate the empirical formula. But if not, you must calculate the empirical formula first. Okay, step 1, you must calculate the molar mass of C2H3O. So, C2H3O and equal to 172 G, the molar mass given. Okay, so we must search for molar mass C2H3O. So, molar mass of carbon is 12 plus hydrogen 1, oxygen is 16 and equal to 172. So, so we got 24 plus 3 plus 16 and 272. Then got 43 and equal to 172. So N equal to 4. Okay, so we got N 4. So C2H3O and we got 4. So 4. So we must multiply. 2 multiply 4, 3 multiply 4, 1 multiply 4 is 1. Okay, so final answer C2 multiply 4 is 8, H3 multiply 4 is 12, O equal to 4. So this is the final answer. Thank you for watching, everyone.